Okay, let's go something a little bit different this time. We can still do the figure drawing, but then with this sponge and the dust. This is the action line. That's a leg. That's a right leg. This one is the left leg, pretty much at that altitude. That's her arm. This is the other arm here. There. Just about showing there. Okay, close to the other figure. We have that. It's the same girl, but different pose. So we have the upper thigh, and the foot itself. Foot standing here, the other foot there, a bit of charcoal dust, and the foot, which is high. That's the thigh here, high as well. That's the hip and shoulder. She's kind of looking back, or she's saying, yeah, she's probably saying, don't want to get into the water. Kind of that kind of expression. I don't like to get wet, and the sea is cold, or the swimming pool is cold. This is my invention anyway, but we invent the story here, so we can make something out of that. That figure drawing here. Again, that's her hair, and the hand looking, saying stop, don't want to get wet. Okay, well, now let's create that emotion here. So she's standing on her right leg, calf is here, foot is there, and another shadow here. Okay, now let's get some. Don't want to put my putty rubber yet. I can actually, but don't want to add putty rubber, so I'm trying to get those, some of the darks with my finger. That's her chest. This is the movement of the upper hand, body. There. Then here we have a little bit of, again, the hip, and thinner here at the top. The head is being lit up right on the right hand side, on our right, on her left. The calf, I think it's a bit, the leg is a bit long, but I like it. It's more expressive. And then calf, thigh, bit more of a inwards line here, and then here we are. Okay, now the hand is right there. Now I can come and create a little bit more movement here with my charcoal. So wider hip. Here I can trim some of her hip here, which is basically that line, and then the foot itself. Foot, toes. Here I have the merging of kneecap and thigh and calf. Calf, foot, we are. Okay, and a little bit of wider hip here, and as we move up, thinner. The body gets smaller, not because of the perspective, yeah? Nothing else, it's because of perspective. And she's looking towards us. I cannot distinguish from eyes, and I can see it, but it's hard to get with this big charcoal, but I'll try. Eyes, nose, and head. And here we have the hand, which is saying, oh, I interpret this saying, don't want to participate on that, don't want to go into the swimming pool or the water. Yeah, the fingers up, and then the upper arm. Here we have it. Bra here, and a little bit darker as well. And right here I can just put a line to separate the thigh from the rest of her body. Here we are. Okay, now let's create a little bit of a lighter tone with the putty rubber. So I can now trim the body here. Trim the body here. The thigh a little bit more inwards. There. And the movement of the head, which is leaning towards her right. A little bit shorter hair. And that creates more perspective, as you can see. So short on the hair. Smaller face because it's moving back. Light here on the right hand side where I'm moving. A bit less pointy, the bra. Inward body. There. And that creates a better perspective, and also a very, very vague right hand. Because it's at the back, and also by doing it this way, by keeping it light, then I'm emphasizing where I need to, which is basically the lower body, the darker tones, darker tone values, which are down here. And then smaller foot, smaller foot, smaller foot, a little bit lighter the thigh here, so I can create a little bit more of a thigh. And knee cup, but I can do the knee cup by brightening this area. Yeah, that's good enough to create me a knee cup line. And a little bit lighter here, this foot, toes, there. And as I said, vague right hand. Index finger. Index finger. Middle finger. And the wrist. Thinner. maybe a smaller hand too, because I think it's a bit big, this one. Just a bit of a smaller hand. And I'm thinking of creating a little bit of a light tone here. So it's like a reflected light. Same on her bra. And that creates a reflected light coming from the left hand side. So we have the light, the main light coming from the right, but also reflected light coming from the back, the left hand side. I can raise here the pants, darker tone, body, and we have a little bit of a shadow here coming from her arm. So this is the left arm, and the shadow, cast shadow of the left arm, it's on the top of her body, and then another lighter tone here, and lighter tone there, lighter tone down here, and that creates more of a shadow. And I think I can get away with trimming her hair a little bit here. Now why? If I make the head even smaller, it will create an even more impressive perspective. Chin up. I think I've trimmed it a lot, the hair, so I'm coming back and forth, giving her a little bit more of a wider head and hair. I think that's good. That's enough. That's good. And a line for the mouth, and a little bit of a shoulder, light on the shoulder here. There. Belly and rib cage, and possibly a little bit wider the rib cage. There. That line will define the width of the rib cage a little bit more. Well. I mean, I think it's not too bad actually. The perspective is there. There we are. Okay, see you on the next one. Hasta luego.